unnecessarily anyone who would not be receptive anyway. He knows when to speak and when to be silent, but he never compromises his own ideals and inner peace. Such a man is forced for great good in this world. See yourself as a soul, not as a physical body. The truth is, we have all become like the proverbial prodigal son. We have wandered away into the dark lanes of bad habits and forgotten how to keep the joy of God centered in our hearts. When the soul is not in its natural state, it puts on the garb of moods born of human feelings. But if we learn to remain inwardly with the divine, we live and work in blissful state of our true nature. In ordinary consciousness, we think we are mortal human beings. But when we disengage ourselves from the ego, we see we are spirit. Delusion causes us to imagine disease, fears, and all other limiting conditions of the body and mind. Can you imagine that you are not a man or a woman? Yet this is the truth. In the divine joy of the soul, the consciousness of sex is entirely lost. Even in childhood, I used to see that I was apart from my body. I remember one day as a young child, I was in that state of ecstasy and came from my bath unclothed. When my aunt saw me, she slapped me. I didn't realize why she had hit me until she sharply reminded me I had forgotten to put on my dhoti. Nothing God has created is sinful. Man created sin by his wrong thinking and misuse of the potentials that God has given him. The ordinary man thinks, I and my body are one. I am so many pounds of flesh with senses and feelings. But the divine man thinks, I and my Father are one. He sees his body and motion picture image. The picture on the screen is a product of light passing through him. So the divine man sees his body as a product of the creative light of God passing through the film of Maya or delusion. He knows that he is not the body, that he is one with God's light. An actor forgets he is acting and begins to live the part. We are like that. We have forgotten who we are, and that we are only acting out a role on earth. When an individual doesn't remember his omnipresent blissful self, he masquerades in the garb of feeling and thinks himself a human being, limited to the body and subject to its sufferings and death. See what a terrible transformation takes place? And throughout his whole life, he searches for the happiness of that blissful self which he already is. The restlessness of the worldly man is such that he never tries to meditate. He never tries to introspect and know himself. To develop the mind is far better than to just work, eat, and sleep as the animals do. But to remain forever on the intellectual plane is also a sin against your true self. For although you may get to the door of realization through intellect, you don't take the next step and open the door. Spiritual development is beyond the intellect. You can open the door of realization only through daily meditation. Practice deep meditation and retain its effects. And what you feel in meditation, you must keep with you all the time. Too often people meditate half-heartedly as a matter of habit, and soon they are finished. With the mechanics of meditation, they go back to their old state. You must plumb the depths of the peace and joy of meditation, and then hold on to the calm after effects. Then only will you change yourself. The body reacts to the changes of the 4 transitional periods of the day. Morning, the period around sunrise. Noon, evening around sunset. And night, between 9 and midnight. Again, that's morning, the period around sunrise. Noon, evening around sunset. It is very beneficial to meditate during these times. Deep meditation and perfect control feeling by holding on to the calmness after effects of meditation. These lead to Samadhi, the ecstasy of self-realization and oneness with God. But the ecstasy of Sabikala Samadhi, in which you enjoy bliss within but lose external awareness of the body and the world, is not enough. What you want is Nirbikala Samadhi, or conscious ecstasy. That is the highest state in which you remain outwardly fully conscious and active, as well as inwardly fully perceptive of your God union. It took me a long time to achieve that supreme level of consciousness. Lahiri Mahayasai, a master, used to be always in that state. In Nirbikala Samadhi, you can perform all your duties and face all the tests of life without ever becoming disturbed. Thus, success in meditation is the only answer to the mystery of overcoming the human nature, so that the soul can become established in its own state, free from ego disturbances of feeling, centered ever in bliss. that was a pretty deep reading, and my takeaways from that are, after meditating daily for 3-4 years now, I can say the following: that non-attachment is like that, where you can feel disappointments, and when I say that, I don't think I'm 100% non-attached. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I read the book is to keep searching for how to become more non-attached, how to go deeper into union with God. I believe I'm pretty good. Like, I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't have the goal to produce, to connect, to develop as a person. So I believe I live a pretty balanced life that isn't like either exuberantly trying to make more of myself than I need to externally. As a matter of fact, I don't want to produce too much beyond what is needed. Like, I want to have abundance, but not only have a life there. I actually want to enjoy my life on the depths of love, the currents of love, God union, these higher frequencies and consciousness. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. I'll get ready to close up here now. What were your takeaways? Maybe comment below what you liked the most. This did turn out to be like a 25-minute read. So I may read one of these once a week on video. That might be cool. At this stage, my goal when it comes to, let's just say yesterday I was writing it down, when it comes to being, which is deeper union with God, connection with God, and really impacting, connecting with people that also want to be living at their highest self. That would be my biggest goal in being. In body, my biggest goal is to be as strong as I can be, eat well, exercise, have a strong discipline with my nutrition. And when it comes to balance, as far as relationships, I'd like to find a woman that is wanting also to manifest God in this life and have a family and live manifesting God consciousness, because I think that other than that, it's very easy to get distracted into the wonders of the world, the magic of the world, and living for the ego, as you know, as I was reading. And in terms of business, my goal is to have enough abundance to take care of a family and pay the bills, and live a life of impact and love, and really impacting people for the better. I know that like network marketing is something I do for business. So is training. So is the YouTube channel. So my goal is to really be a good leader and impact the world in a positive way and reduce some suffering for people. So as best I can, and inspire that change in others. So those are my core goals that I was thinking about last night. Hope you enjoyed the reading. This is Jacob Adams. Comment below. We'll see you next time. Bye.